Happy New Year! I am dialing in from beautiful India. I am right now on a tea plantation in a place called Kunur, which is in the Tamil Nadu state. And we just celebrated New Year's here last night, and it was really beautiful, very peaceful. It gave me the opportunity to really recharge my batteries, which is what I really wanted. And I decided to claim back my YouTube channel, which I started initially as a platform to share my 360 travel content. Then it morphed into a channel for Globetrotter, but now I decided to claim it back because I want to use it as a way to share my insights, a way to share the knowledge that I have around mindfulness, around well-being, all the things that I'm studying, I'm learning, that I'm teaching in my private mentorship sessions. I've got a lot of really exciting stuff this year coming, so I really want to use this space to share things that are longer format because I can't share them on Instagram stories. And I really hope that you guys enjoy this. I love travel. It's never gonna go anywhere. It's a big part of my life, but I want to change the angle of this channel to be more around information that I want to share with you. The insights that I'm getting while I'm traveling, the serendipities that happen, the habits that I have around traveling that allow me to have better travels. So today we're going to be talking about 5 habits that you need to implement this year in order to be happy, healthy, prosperous, and live your best life. I am just going to give you my experience from what I've been doing in the last few years, which has worked for me, and what I'm going to be doing in 2024. Without further ado, let's get into it. Habit number 1, and I think this is the most important one that everybody needs to do, is daily meditation. The meditation that I'm referring to is really all about getting into your subconscious mind. The point really is to be aware and understand what are the emotions, what are the thoughts patterns, what are the programs that you're running on, and then change them to be more functional and more in line with the vision that you want for yourself. If you are the kind of person who wants to have, a happy, healthy life with lots of prosperity, you have to make sure that you are thinking and acting and making decisions in a way that's in line with that kind of persona. But if in your daily life you're actually prone to things like getting really upset over small things, or you're easily angered, or you carry grudges and resentment, all those negative emotions that are really low vibrationally are not going to get you to that vision, that person that you want to be in the future. So it's really important to be mindful of those and to change them through meditation. That goes into habit number 2, which is daily journaling. And not the kind of journaling of like, dear diary, today I went here. No, it's more of an emotional awareness and awareness of what has happened to you and how it has affected you. So for example, you really need to start being aware of the things that are triggering you. And if something triggers you, it means that there is a part in you that wants to do that but doesn't allow yourself to do it, or there's a characteristic in another person that you actually have inside of you but you don't want to acknowledge and you suppress. And instead of using the power and the energy in that characteristic, you suppress it, and therefore when you see someone else manifesting it, it triggers you. So for example, you're the kind of person that has been raised in a very conservative upbringing. You are very much all around being polite and making sure that you don't overstep other people's boundaries, and you don't voice your concerns when you don't like it. And then when somebody else in the room comes up and says, I don't like this, I don't want to do this, you get triggered because you're like, how is this person so abrasive, and how are they allowing themselves to act this way? Well, that's because you are actually not letting yourself act this way. And there's a lot of opportunity in that situation, growth and potential in that characteristic for yourself. We work a lot around this stuff when we do private sessions. Number 1 thing I always get to do with them is to really help them figure out what in their life gives them energy and what takes it away from them. You have no idea how much energy just seeps away into things that we don't like doing, that we feel like we have to do, into relationships that don't give us any pleasure, into work that we think that we should be doing even though we hate it. There's so many different things, And it's about identifying them and closing them off as much as possible, delegating, saying your goodbyes, changing the situation so that it actually works for you and doesn't suck away your energy. Because all that energy that you're leaking into those things is actually energy that you could be using to create a life that you want, and if we're moving away from the survival mode where we're kind of just dredging on in a routine and kind of putting up with whatever's happening in our lives, instead of living in the creator mode where we are fascinated by the magic that is possible if we are actually in tune with our vision, if we're in tune with the world around us. Instead of being able to do that and work in creator mode, you don't have any energy, you don't have any free energy, because it all seeps away into these things that you don't like, that you don't enjoy, people that suck away your energy. So it's important to realize that, close that off, and focus on the things that actually give you energy. Number 3 is movement. I know it sounds very kind of banal, but again, it needs to be movement that gives you pleasure and joy. There's no point forcing yourself to go to the gym if you're not a fan of the gym. If you're more of a fan of like dancing, for example, or volleyball or swimming, find a way to integrate those things into your life. It's not about getting into shape. It's not about losing, weight, although that could be your goal and that's great. But for a person whose goal, it's not really to, shed or build or whatever, but you just want to maintain a healthy body, a healthy mind, sport is so important because it helps us to burn stress. It helps us to release those positive chemicals that start circulating in our body. It puts you in a better mood, it puts you in a better mental mood, and it also creates more energy in your body. So again, this is the energy that we're going to be using to create amazing things in our lives. It's important to choose what you love. I love to do yoga in the mornings. I love to go for runs. I love to go for swims. I like to go to the gym. I like dancing. So I integrate that into my daily routine so that I feel my best. Number 4 is learning how to live in the creative mode. Thoughts are electric waves and your emotions are magnetic waves. So through this electromagnetic wave, you actually can attract things into your life. And it's not hippy dippy stuff. This is science. It's been proven by many people. You just got to be mindful. And every day you have to make sure that you focus your attention on things that you want to achieve. So I do this by journaling in the morning, where I write out the things that I want to see in my life. And I write them out as stories about what I do and how it feels and what I do afterwards, because it really creates this very vivid picture in my mind that I can connect to emotionally. And that's the important part. When you go into the future, not just, oh, I'm buying a house, but I am buying this house and I'm living there with my family, and you visualize how you cuddle with your loved one on the couch, or you work in your beautiful home office with a beautiful view, and just really living that experience emotionally. And number 5 is really being aware of your state, being mindful of how you feel on a daily basis is really important, because we are now entering a new age where your state is going to impact a lot of your life. There is this pyramid of emotions. You can find it on the internet, and it shows the vibrations in gigahertz, the speed of the vibrations of the emotions. So when you are experiencing a certain emotion, your body vibrates at a certain level. And this can be either a low vibration, like anger, like guilt, or it can be a high vibration, like love and joy, gratitude. Like attracts like. And when you are out there in the world operating and vibrating constantly on a lower vibration, even though you might be actively thinking and doing daily affirmations of I am, attracting wealth, I am attracting luck, I am attracting love. If you're vibrating and you're feeling like shit, you're never going to attract the love, the abundance, the health that you want in your life. So you have to be mindful and really know yourself of how do you actually feel on a daily basis? What is your homeostasis? What is your body used to feeling? Because through the years of feeling certain ways, through the years of having certain thought patterns and behavior habits and emotional habits, our body comes into this homeostasis of being used to feeling a certain way. So there are people who are used to feeling guilt. There are people who are used to constantly feel sad and depressed. And there are people who are quite functional in society, but they have this undertone of, sadness, guilt, shame. Others are more aggressive. They're, constantly angry, or they're resentful and they're, bitchy and snapping at other people. So it manifests in different ways, but a lot of the time you're not aware of it. And now is the time to start becoming aware if you already haven't. And get that into your daily practice where you're noticing, how do I feel? When I wake up, how do I feel? And do I feel happy or sad because of an external event? Or do I feel happy and sad because I am? Because that's my state. And your goal is to really come to a place where your state is only determined by how you feel from your internal intention. There is a lot of things happening in the world that is very destabilizing, that is very upsetting. You shouldn't be allowing external events affect you negatively, whether that's an external event that is far away or an external event that's nearby. Somebody said something that you didn't like, or something didn't work out the way you wanted to. As long as you understand that your state is your number one priority, you will be thriving. Because the way that space and time is currently moving, your state is going to attract things into your life at an instant like this. And the more you're indulging yourself in thoughts of self-pity or injustice or depression or anger or resentment, you're going to attract more things like that into your life. And your goal is to make sure that your state is at least neutral or an expansive state. And interestingly, there's only 2% statistically of people on this planet, who live in an expanded state, who are day in, day out experiencing positive emotions of inspiration, of joy, of love, of gratitude. And those are things that you need to become aware of and learn to change that. It's not that we are never going to be upset. It's not that we will never have reasons to be angry or feeling down. It's about learning how to catch yourself out and to not let yourself linger in that, and to find ways to get yourself out of that state. There are many techniques that you can use to actually change your state, and I'll be covering these in my group course for the first time. This is normally things that I've been covering in my private mentoring sessions, but now I want to expand it and give the opportunity for more people to join. So watch the space and definitely follow me on Instagram, where I'll be sharing the news on that. And I really hope that this year is going to be one of growth and mindfulness, prosperity for people, but prosperity in a way that comes to them in ways that don't require them to overwork themselves, to sacrifice their health, to sacrifice their relationships, that it really comes to them through ease, through love, through joy. And I wish that everybody who watches this video has their truest dreams come true in the best possible way, and that you guys have an amazing year ahead. I hope that you liked this video. If you did, please like it. Please leave a comment. I'm going to need your feedback on this one, because this is a new format for me. And if you do find this valuable, I'm going to keep doing it. Please subscribe to the channel. Please share on your stories if you gained some insight. If you found this useful, share with your friends. And I will see you in the next video.